So,
Welcome to Sam Brain.
hello, Sam. So, here's a couple of things, tips and tricks that I like doing in regards to just getting audio normalized. So, first off, find some audio that you would not hear for a voice. Like all of this right here is you can hear a bunch of noise, or you can hear the person's voice. But when there's like silence coming on over here, well, you cannot hear it, but just bear with me on that one. But when you hear like it's just like background noise, you usually want to capture something like this, and then you just want to press Shift P, which is to capture noise. After that, you want to press Control A, then Control Shift P to do a noise reduction. For me, I like to alter between like certain areas, but usually the default is more than enough. Go ahead and hit apply. And that will actually reduce all the background noise of people like muttering and things like that, or just like when you hear like stomps and things like that. You will actually be a nice noise reduction for that. Now you might hear some things where, or the audio may not be as fine tuned. So what I personally like to do is I like to do a little bit more in-depth effects. This is what I like to do in order, and this is literally in order. I would actually go to Effects, Amplitude and Compression, Normalize Process, and I would change this to about -3. Next, I would go back to Effects, go back to Amplitude and Compression, Single Band Processor. Make sure that this is set to 4, and make sure that this is all in this number right here, 0, 1, 4, 100, 0.
Do you know what these things do?
Yes. So what they do is that it actually
What does the threshold do?
the threshold. Well, I keep it at 0 because you don't want to make it like too high of a frequency when trying to normalize things.
And ratio is
Ratio is just trying to find a middle ground of how to like normalize between like a person who's close and one who's really far.
Okay.
Attack is just seeing how much you really want to like actually grab all of that normalizing between like certain pitches. So what this is really doing is that it's normalizing a high frequency and a low frequency.
okay. And release.
Release is where you want like after a person talks to a certain point, it will let go instead of just constantly just attacking or literally just attacking the audio clip. And the output gain is just if you want to change that audio like decibels, like in the end of it all.
Okay.
I'm just going to hit apply. And then this one is a little bit tricky, and only do this if you want to do this, but this is really helpful if you can get this down. If you go to Filter, Equality, Parametric Filter, or Parametric Equalizer, and then you want to go to
Heavy guitar.
heavy guitar. So loudness maximizer. So this literally plays with more of the high pitch and the low frequency and the high frequency of certain people. When you go over here, you want to play around with this one the most, which is like the middle ground. You want to make sure, I'm sorry, didn't mean to click on that, but you want to make sure that you want to, like when you listen to the audio track, you want to, as best as you can with headsets, just listen to how crisp like the person can sound, or if the frequency can be altered in the best way possible. This is more of like an arts more than science bit in this department, so play around with it wherever you feel may vary. You may have to go a little bit lower than usual. You have to go a little bit higher for this section, and same thing with this one, maybe lower. Depends on the person's voice.
So this is the specific frequencies that the person speaks in.
That is correct.
And so you're saying you're killing a very low frequency. You're amplifying the super low frequencies, or you're keeping that, and then you're killing around 200.
Yep.
And then you come back up. But most people's voices
are usually low.
They're usually somewhere around 1,800 to 1,000, aren't they?
Yeah, probably. Actually, that makes sense. Yeah, 800 to 1,000. Sometimes, I actually worked with some people, like for example Kelly, where he had like a really high frequency, so I had to lower down his high frequency. Actually, sorry, 6,000. I would have to lower down his high frequency, and then actually increase his low frequency in order to capture more of his bass.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. For me, it's the opposite. Usually, that's the case where I would lower this down, increase the high frequency just a little bit for myself.
Okay.
Then after that, I would hit apply. Usually at this point, I would be more than good to go, and then I would simply just finish it off with another capture noise print, because this is now, because you're altering the entire track. The background noise is going to be amplified again. So you're going to capture noise print again. You're going to control all once more, and then you're going to do a noise reduction, which is Control Shift P. Then you're going to hit apply, and that should be relatively it at that point.
And to get to Audition from Premiere, if Audition's installed, it's just a right click on the audio track.
So you see right here. Let's assume that I didn't do anything with this one, right? Let's just go ahead and make a new sequence. And let's say, for example, I just grab something, and I just have the audio already as is.
Yep.
All you simply have to do is just right click, and go to Edit Clip in Audition, and this is going to bring me into Audition.
And then when you save it here, it'll get saved back into
exactly. So say, for example, I take this chunk out, I save. That gets reflected onto that section now.
So now we've got a chunk out of it. So
Yep, exactly.
Perfect.
All right, and that's pretty much it.
Cool. Thank you.